Golden Road TV show. It's the Golden Road TV show. Well, listen once, listen twice. Oh, won't you please take my advice? It's the Golden Road TV show.com.
We also are going to feature our lovely dancer joining us all the way from Santa Cruz tonight, Janelle. Thank you, Art Rock Ensemble, and lots more to come. Thank you, Visions of the Wild.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Art Rock Ensemble, Cuban Rhythm and Rumba, and Janelle.
It's the Golden Road TV show. It's the Golden Road TV show. Well, bridging the past with today for a better tomorrow.
Golden Road explores the intersection of arts, environment, culture, health, peace, justice, science, and technology, paving the road for positive social change.
It's the Golden Road TV show. It's the Golden Road TV show.
And welcome to Golden Road TV and radio show. I'm your host, Michael DiMartino, and would like to thank you for joining in as we continue to provide inspiring, educational, and conscious content around arts and culture, health, the environment, peace and justice, and science and tech. Of course, they all affect the quality of our life. And I'm really happy and really honored because I know she's really busy with the upcoming Sustainable Food and Farm Conference, but I'm really happy and honored to have on the show the conference manager from Sierra Harvest, Rachel Berry.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome. So, before we get into the interview, because I do want to talk about the conference, it's exciting and people will be watching this before the conference so they'll know a little more what's happening and how they can get involved. But how did the Sustainable Food and Farm Conference idea begin?
Well, it started about 9 years ago with local farmers in our community who were interested in bringing some of the big national leaders in the Sustainable Food and Farm movement here to Nevada County so we could all benefit. And so it started as a very grassroots effort. I think the first speaker to come was Joel Salatin. And year after year, there was more and more interest. The program built and built, and about 2 years ago, the volunteer farmers handed it over to Sierra Harvest so we can organize it. They're still involved in the planning and the curriculum, but Sierra Harvest manages the details so the farmers can do what else they're doing.
Everybody do what they do and do it good, so we have to compartmentalize sometimes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, I know you probably wear a lot of hats, but how long have you been managing the conference with Sierra Harvest?
This is our third year hosting it, so this will be 3 years.
And I have to say, you know, there's a lot that's been happening recently with our fall resiliency tour for the Golden Road. We were up in Mount Shasta, we were out in Chico, and of course we did a broadcast here. We're doing a lot of community think tanks to see what people respond to and what they're interested in the community, since we're trying to be a public service through independent media. And I have to say, you know, you've been doing the conference for 9 years, and you know, it's not a new idea, but you've been very well ahead of the curve, because right now with the current world situation, the wildfires, what's happening with our current administration, all these things, this old paradigm of how we've done business or how things have worked is kind of shifting, even with the idea of you know, global warming and changes in environment. So I want to give you kudos of being ahead of the curve. And how do we really what you're doing, how does that apply locally here? It's all local farmers? Is it dealing with the specific environment and climate in Nevada County? Or is it something people can come from other areas and learn?
Yeah, well, I think we're really lucky here in Nevada County. We have a long legacy of forward-thinking people, and the roots of the organic movement are here. We've got a lot of people in our community who've been doing this sort of work for a long time. So as far as the conference, I feel like we focus on Nevada County as far as Sierra Harvest and our work. But for the conference, we have about 90% of the people come from Northern California, and the rest, will come from all different parts of the country to participate in this education, because it's applicable to us here, but the concepts are applicable to anyone who's interested in sustainable food.
Fantastic. Well, we broadcast on YouTube, so maybe we can entice some non-Northern Californians to come out and learn something. So with the conference itself, there's workshops, there's speakers. What's the formula that people can expect?
Yeah, I can break it down a little bit. We have 3 main days with the conference. Friday we have our special workshops. So people can learn how to cultivate mushrooms at home, medicinal mushrooms and edible mushrooms. We also have a Friday farm tour, so if people want to see hands-on, what some of our local farmers are doing and some of their innovative practices.
And not to interrupt, when I moved here 8 years ago, I was impressed how many organic farms there are in Nevada County. Do you know about how many?
No, I don't know the number. We do have a lot for a community our size.
Definitely over 15. I mean, I think.
Oh, sure. If you look at the Nevada County Farm Guide, you could look at our farms there and see the diversity. We have a lot of small-scale farms, which is typically, better for the environment.
Okay, so
The farm
Friday
tour.
was some work. They're going to get their hands dirty, right?
They might, yeah.
Okay.
They check out the farm tour. They'll be able to see how Mountain Bounty Farm is extending their season. They've opened up their CSA to a winter CSA this year, where they're growing a lot of the food, so people who are interested in that can come check that out. The tour will also be going to the Fowlers. They're a farm in South County where they've raised meat for many, many years, and they also have goats as vegetation management. And so they use their goats to help graze land, and there's a lot.
So if you use Roundup, remember,
You
don't
could be
spray,
using
get some goats. There you go.
And the beauty of it is it's not just getting rid of the plants like a weed killer would and leaving the poisonous residues, but it's actually the way that they can rotate them. It's actually building fertility, and it can actually build more pasture and more vitality into the landscape.
It's interesting because I work with a Lakota gentleman, and also I know some of the people from the Buffalo Field Campaign. And I think, and again, I'm not here to express my political views on the show, but to give people a voice. But it was really interesting to hear about the effects of the original buffalo and how they broke up the soil and helped to, stimulate plant growth. And now how a lot of areas through the cattle industry are overgrazed and damaged. For anyone who's driven through Central Valley down Route 5 to Los Angeles recently, you can see half of it's agriculture, half of it's cattle. And just the impact of how people have done things in the past. So
Right, and that's a perfect lead into what the conference features on Saturday. And Saturday we feature our keynote speakers, where we bring in national leaders in the movement here to our community. And one of the speakers this year is going to be Joel Salatin, who opened up the farm conference many years ago. And he's a master at teaching how do we raise animals in a way that mimics the natural cycle, like when the buffalo did roam the plains, because that stimulation of the soil needs to happen. And if we totally leave it alone, it's not going to be as healthy. If we mass graze it with a bunch of cattle, it's not going to be healthy. And so he shares his system of how do you rotate the pasture, how do you really focus on the quality of the soil, and that will in turn create quality of animals. And so
which is really interesting, because I read something recently where they were advising people not to rototill. Traditionally people rototill, but it actually can disturb the soil at such a depth in a way that it destroys a lot of the beneficial bacterias and the culture of the soil.
And that's a perfect lead into our other
This is not staged.
We have Elizabeth Kaiser coming, Elizabeth and Paul Kaiser. They are from Singing Frog Farms in Sonoma County, and they're award-winning farmers because what they're doing is they're really focusing on how to maximize the health of the soil versus what can I do to get the best impact of my crop today. And they do no-till methods, so they're not using any machinery, and it's really about, you know, building these ecological systems in the soil the way nature has done, you know, for a millennium. And so we've learned that, you know, ripping up in the toilet, you know, using a rototiller can help in some regards, but if you're breaking up all those mycorrhizae and all those, the life in the soil, in the long term, you're doing the soil injustice, and your farm will be less resilient.
See that? I learned something already.
Yeah, so the Kaisers are coming, and they're going to give a full download on how they're managing their farm. They've reduced their water consumption by over half, and they really get a lot of productivity out of their soil. They've increased their the organic matter in their soil through these methods, so it's really promising.
Right, I'm sure compost is a pretty instrumental part of that.
Compost is huge, that's right.
So, so obviously you have speakers, so we're through Friday, Saturday, and then on to Saturday evening, Sunday?
Yes, we do have one more keynote speaker that I wanted to mention, and her name is Daphne Miller. And she's actually a family physician from the Bay Area, and we've invited her to come because she was inspired by soil, actually. You know, what we were just talking about how the soil requires this healthy balance. You know, she thought, well, maybe humans have something similar to that. Maybe there's something analogous. And so she started spending her time on family farms, organic farms, and began studying and realizing that there are many things to the life on the farm, including the food, including the lifestyle, including the community that really contributes to human health. And so as a physician, she'll prescribe people farm time. She'll prescribe people farm fresh food from their local community because she's seen how that supports people's health.
Non-GMO and organic, preferably.
Right, right, and a little bit of dirt is good.
Well, it's so interesting because recently, and on last week's show, episode number 32, I was at the state capitol where I got to speak with Dr. Michelle Perro and other people who are working on the glyphosate and the Roundup issue. And very much like a farm, we could see the relationship of what we eat and the result of pesticides or GMOs having not only an impact on the environment that they're in, but also the environment in our own guts, in our own stomachs, and how that affects our nutritional uptake and our digestion and our overall health. So it really is amazing, you know, the scientists seeing these direct correlations between the outer world, the inner world, the microcosm to the macrocosm. It's really amazing.
Right, and so, again, perfect lead-in. For Sunday at the conference, we have a series of 20 workshops. And so you as a farmer or gardener or foodie can come and pick your own curriculum and learn about things like how do microbes in our gut affect our health, how to ferment foods that are rich in microbes that can support our health, how to, if you've got a whole animal, if you have a small farm or a garden and you've got chickens or goats, how do you process a whole animal to really get the health benefits of many of its parts, not just the best cuts. So there's that kind of track for foodies. There's also a track for professional farmers if you need help figuring out, you know, how to really make a profit in your business, or you know, how to get that tractor running in tip-top shape. For home gardeners, you can learn more about cut flowers, you can learn more about permaculture or growing medicinal herbs. So there's really a nice variety of classes because we want everybody to benefit from this education, not just our farmers and ranchers.
Wow, fantastic. So you've been busy.
We've been busy, yeah.
So I think one of the things that's interesting too, as you were speaking, I was thinking about the idea of giving people education solutions. And another thing I had flashed upon as you were speaking is you talked about the mushroom workshop. And I know that gentleman, I think his name is Paul Stamets, has been doing research about using certain types of mycelium, which is the sporage of mushrooms. My terminology might not be precise, but how they're using that to actually clean up various toxic sites, from anything from petroleum contamination to hazardous waste.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's really, I mean, nature gives us all of the answers to the questions. We just have to look into nature.
Right,
so.
and actually Paul was one of our keynote speakers 2 years ago at the conference.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, like I said, we really focus on bringing in these national experts because we want people in our community to benefit from this knowledge.
So let's move forward now. So when you're not doing the conference, maybe not you personally, what is Sierra Harvest doing on a day-to-day capacity?
So Sierra Harvest is 10 years old, and we focus on inspiring people to connect with fresh local food. We educate farmers on how they can grow food more sustainably, and we help people grow food in their own backyard.
Now, for those of you who might be watching who don't know, could you elaborate a little bit about sustainability? Because it's a very loaded term, just like resilience. Like when we did our fall resilience term, a lot of people never heard of resilience. And a lot of people who came and spoke said, well, resiliency is important, you know, the ability to be flexible, but also we're talking about regeneration. We don't have to recreate a wheel, we just have to repair the systems in the past. So could you just elaborate a little bit about sustainability?
Right. Our vision is really about what you've mentioned, about resilience and regeneration. And sustainability is a term that most people are familiar with, as far as, you know, we don't want to keep taking away from our systems. We don't want to degrade our gardens and our farms by growing food. We don't want to degrade the environment by growing our own food. If we can be sustainable, you know, maybe we're not degrading, but if we can be regenerative.
That's like the next level.
You know, we're actually creating more health in our environment, which is just going to gift us back if we have cleaner water and cleaner air and healthier food. And so that is really our vision.
Fantastic. I know those are two issues I'm very passionate about, is the use of Roundup. I mean, pesticides in general. Also, I mean, even when you go out to a restaurant and eat, when they come next to you and they spray the table next to you with some sort of toxic bleach cleanser, and how all of this affects our water and the quality of our water. And we haven't even scratched on the surface of the long, golden but somewhat dark history of heavy metals in the mining industry here. But we're not going to get into that because we're here to talk really about the idea of sustainability and regeneration. So in that process, so the conference is open to anyone, but are there special things like for students, or maybe if you're a farmer, or you know, a discount or a work-study program or something? You know, because money can be tight for people, and I know it takes money to make things happen. And again, congratulations and thank you for really pioneering such an amazing and pertinent conference. But is there ways that people can get involved, or?
Sure. Yeah, we really try hard to keep the conference prices low to make it more accessible for people in general. And then in addition, we offer discounts to people who are actively farming and ranching. And if you're interested in finding out more about that, I'll direct you to our website in a minute. But there are opportunities there. We also always need volunteers for the event. So if you're interested in volunteering, you can also contact us as well.
Fantastic. And it is amazing also, it's really easy to communicate with you. And again, thank you for your time to be here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
But we just had the Wild and Scenic Film Festival.
Right.
So I decided to go on Sunday and watch the films around resilience. And one of them was about the story of people in El Salvador who took the war-torn place that was all part of the whole Contras and Sandinistas and have turned it into this amazing coastal sustainable project. Unfortunately, recently the U.S. government was trying to buy that part of the Pacific coast to bring in mega resorts and to bring in hotels and to supposedly help the overall economy of the country. But the amazing thing is these people joined together under the leadership of a woman, and we just had, of course, our International Women's Day marches all around the world, that under her leadership they were able to deter development on this very specific part of the coast.
Oh, that's great.
So that was a great film, and then we also saw one called the cloud forests of Mexico, which was the same idea that a lot of these cloud forests, because of clear cutting and things, have been basically, they don't exist anymore, but there's a very small area in Veracruz, Mexico, where they still have the cloud forest. So what they're doing to preserve this, I believe 500 hectares of very unique environment and what's happening there. And it really, what amazed me about the film, it wasn't, you know, overly high-tech people. They didn't have to have technology. It wasn't difficult. All they had to do was simplify their lifestyle, and they actually realized that they were more comfortable and even more happy living more naturally than some of the toxicity that we expose ourselves to here in the privileged country of America. And of course, we love our technology, and it's a very useful tool, but nonetheless, you know, we had a speaker on a few weeks ago who talked about the effects of Wi-Fi and the different effects of what happens with the electromagnetic energy on our overall health. But it was amazing just to see people just living simply and happy and being sustainable and actually regenerating this whole area that now the cloud forests are coming back.
Oh, that's great. And you know, I moved here to this community about 9 years ago, in part because of the farming community and the organic movement and the sustainability movement, because I feel like that's resiliency, to be a part of a community that really embraces that and is moving forward on that agenda. And I feel like that's part of the reason I'm so excited about this conference, because it's not just for farmers, or it's not just for this rancher over here. It's for all of us to work together to be more thoughtful about how we grow food, the food we eat, and how do we move as a community to more regeneration, more sustainability.
That's why I moved here too. I was actually living in Santa Cruz, where I was working for the theater arts department at the University of California, and I just fell in love with this area. I mean, where in the summertime can you drive up to the snow-capped peaks of the Sierras, drive down to Sacramento, and be barbecued with 120-degree heat, but enjoy the Tahoe. Actually, I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to overly entice people to keep moving here.
But it's a great place to visit for the Food Farm Conference.
It is. There you go. And people would like more information. Again, if you could give them the website and maybe even an email or phone number, whatever is relative.
Sure. The website for the conference is www.foodandfarmconference.org. foodandfarmconference.org. And our office phone number is 530-265-2343, and you can contact us directly from the website. You can also Google Sierra Harvest, and you can find out information that way as well.
So last question or two, if I may. I own property, and I'm looking at potentially doing some sort of permaculture extended project. For food, because I know it's a very dynamic region here, from South County, Grass Valley, which is I think a 2,000-foot elevation, all the way up to Truckee, which is high desert. I'm somewhere around 3,000-foot elevation. What would you say would be great things to grow for food?
Oh gosh, well, if you were to come on Sunday to the Food and Farm Conference,
I'm going to have to sign up.
We'll be featuring a farmer that is actually up at on the High Sierra. He's at, I believe he's at 5,000 or 6,000 feet, and Gary Romano, he has Sierra Farms up there, and he wrote a book called July and Winter. July is his growing season, but he's figured out a lot of ways to extend the season so he can grow more at that high altitude. And so coming to that kind of workshop, you can get a better idea of what sort of technologies can you use, whether it's just a row crop cover or a greenhouse, to expand what you can grow on your property. But generally, greens are always nice at a higher altitude because they like the cooler weather. To stay away from things that require a lot of heat unless you have a lot of sun.
I tried goji berries, it didn't work.
Oh.
It didn't work. But I'll have to get my human growth hormones from other natural sources.
But another great thing about the conference is there's so many people that you can really connect with other people in your neighborhood, other people who have similar issues, similar interests. On Sunday we have a roundtable lunch. And so people can, if they have a topic they really want to talk about, like you're like, what are people growing at 3,000 feet?
Right.
What are people doing in my neighborhood? You can put that up, and then people can sign up, and you can all get together for lunch and
So
trade
what are you
information.
serving for lunch? That's my question.
Well,
Anyway, we'll keep it a mystery. If you're interested, go to the website.
there you go.
And last question, a little bit more of a sensitive issue. And again, I'm not here to impart my political or philosophical beliefs. And it might not have any direct relevance to Sierra Harvest because of you doing such amazing work. But last week I had Philip Northcutt on the show from Sierra Gold Compliance. And of course, as of January 1st, California has, well, let's say decriminalized cannabis. It's been decriminalized for a while for medical, but now they say it's for recreational, which the exact terminology which I learned is called adult use. Because you can't say it's recreational when, you know, we don't want minors having access to cannabis. But, you know, Nevada County being a unique climate, like other parts of California, has a long history of cannabis cultivation. And I know a lot of people right now, because of the legalization, which is parlaying into corporatization, a lot of people who have had small cottage, home-based industries or whatever they might be doing are concerned about not only their livelihood, but also about the quality, because we know there's a lot of issues right now with GMOs, people actually patenting different strands of different seeds and foods and things that are happening along with Monsanto and other organizations. But if anyone who's watching the show, you know, maybe you are a cannabis grower and you have that as your paradigm, how, besides coming to the conference, what would be your personal philosophy about trying to maybe get some of these people to move from a kind of a dying industry that can also have very negative impacts on the land to doing something that can really contribute to the resilience and the economic growth and the overall health of our community here in Nevada County?
Well, you know, I'm not an expert in this area, but you know, we know in this county we have a lot of infrastructure around cannabis cultivation. And it would be really exciting to see some of that shift towards food. You know, we produce about 2% of the food that we consume in Nevada County. And I was really surprised to learn that because I felt like we have such a thriving farming community, but we only produce 2%. And so if we were to expand our farming as a community and create more food, that could be a really big asset for our health and for our economy. If we could bump up from 2% of what we producing 2% of our food, I know, if we could bump that up to 20%, we could keep over $3 million in our community every year, which is an incredible economic impact if we're, you know, spending all that money outside of our community. So I encourage people to really think about food production. And Sierra Harvest does have a Farm Institute program, which is designed to help mentor and educate people to move into a career as farming with a lot of support, because it's not an easy career path. You know, you really do need support to be successful.
Wow. So when do you sleep?
I don't do it all. We have an awesome team of people.
The power of collaboration.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, again, you're watching Golden Road TV, and we also podcast this as a radio show. I do want to remind you, we broadcast every week on YouTube, but also we broadcast on cable TV in Siskiyou County, which is up to the state border of Oregon in the Mount Shasta region. We broadcast in Shasta County, where Redding is located. We broadcast in Butte County, of course people know Chico and Chico State. We broadcast here at home in Nevada County. We also broadcast up in Truckee and Tahoe, who has their own cable network. We broadcast into Sacramento County, Calaveras, and Amador County. And in light of what we're doing, we're going to be adding a few more counties because we've really come to realize that we're committed to quality of life around the Sacramento River watershed, which also provides California with, I think, the 78 to 81% of its water. So even though the Dakota Pipeline, and there's a lot of great causes out there, we're really putting a super focus on this region that we all love and appreciate and call home. And I just want to say thank you so much for all you're doing, and I'm hoping to be out at the conference. Maybe we can get a little more some clips and talk to people and just continue to evolve and help move our community towards not just sustainability but regeneration. Because of the history, we know there's a lot of work to do. Yes, so thanks for watching Golden Road TV Radio, and thank you so much for being on the show. Again, I've been talking with Rachel Berry from Sierra Harvest. She is the Sustainable Food and Farm Conference Manager. And would you like to leave us with maybe a little quote or some words of wisdom?
Oh, gosh. You are what you eat. Make it count.
Wow, brilliant. So thank you, and I'll be back in a few more minutes with more discussion here on Golden Road Television.
It's a golden road TV show. Yes, it's a golden road TV show. It's a Golden Road TV show.com. It's the Golden Road TV show. It's the Golden Road TV show. Well, bridging the past with today for a better tomorrow.
Golden Road explores the intersection of arts, environment, culture, health, peace, justice, science, and technology, paving the road for positive social change.
It's the Golden Road TV show. It's the Golden Road TV show.
My name is Kwang Chu. This is Nevada City, and we're on Britney Springs Farm. And today we just had a training workshop for Nevada County Grown's agritourism workshop, because we're going to have a farm trail coming up in July. It's a weekend, so this training is, I think about 60 people showed up, various farmers, ranchers, and interested parties, and we went through the whole concept of agritourism. And then the second part of the seminar was about the farm trail weekend happening in July. Essentially, Nevada County Grown is a non-profit. I'm president of it, and we exist to promote and enhance the whole ag ecosystem here in terms of production and sales. So we don't train farmers. We're basically an agency to promote for them, you know, advertising, promotion, and ag tourism is what we chose for 2018. The one single event that we're holding in that direction is the farm trail that I was talking about. We have other things like Bounty of the County. It's the best of chefs using local ingredients. We have the Food and Farm Guide, which is going to be better and bigger. Spicier is the word that we use. That's basically what we do.
Cass. I'm representing Nevada County Grown. I'm a new board of directors for the organization. Today we had our agritourism and farm trail weekend workshop. We invited farmers and ranchers and local community members out to Bitney Springs Farm to learn about agritourism and how it's hopefully going to be able to blossom here in Nevada County. Agritourism is a way for farmers and ranchers to increase revenue, bring on new revenue streams onto their farms and ranches, help them support their bottom line. With Nevada County Grown in 2018, we decided to take on agritourism as our initiative because we see the benefits that it's playing in other counties throughout the state. We'd like to implement it here, and we decided to do a farm trail weekend, July 7th and 8th. And that is going to be a weekend where we open up our farms and ranches to the public. They can come and listen to live music, get tours of the farm, we'll have live artists there working. Contact us at nevadacountygrown.org and find us on Facebook at Nevada County Grown.
Okay.
Hi, welcome. So happy to have the Golden Road here at Reading Old City Hall, home of SCAC TV. I'm Mike Flanagan, and welcome. We're so excited to have Michael here, the source, so to speak, of everything cool and hip in Northern California, or I like to call it the Upper California. And for a lot of you that aren't aware, we here in Reading just won a very important and hard-fought battle, which was to be designated a Reading Cultural District. And so right here, I have a map of the whole state of California. And besides us, we have been designated rural emerging along with Eureka over on the coast, Truckee, and Nevada City, and also San Ramon. And so we recently had a cultural summit here at Old City Hall, and we talked about unifying and working together to kind of expand upon it. So if you come here a little bit closer, you'll see this is actually the Reading Cultural District. This is our baby here. And it took a lot of work because we have so much to offer here. So it starts, if you see here, at the rodeo grounds, what we call the Civic Center, where we have our big concerts. The big name acts come here. We have Turtle Bay Exploration Park right over on both sides of the Sacramento River. And we have the famous Sundial Bridge. And then we have a botanical gardens. And then it comes along here, and this is where we start to see aspects of our indigenous people's culture gets involved in our event, because there's lots of native sites along the river here. So the river trail wraps around in the Caldwell Park. We have a beautiful aquatic center. And then we have Lake Reading Park. And then it crosses over the historic Diesel Horse Bridge. And then it gets exciting if you're into bicycles, because we have world-class trails here, but we now are working on bringing bicycling into downtown. And this whole area is our downtown where you're at. Right now, we are right here where that little square box is. But this is the Reading Cultural District, and we are so happy to have the Golden Road here, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a culture of inclusion, not exclusion. This isn't. This is for everybody. Culture's not nobody owns culture. Culture is created by our community. So we're so happy to have you here, Michael, and we look forward to exciting things to come. And let's get an event going here at Reading Old City Hall, and let's invite all of you, cultural warriors, to come down here and let's create some art. Thanks for watching.
We found the Holy Grail.
Hello, welcome to Artworks Downtown. My name is Angelique Benicio, and I'm clearly a painter, but I'm also a performance artist, and I make costumes. And I've had my studio here for about a year. It's a wonderful nonprofit organization, and there's 27 studios in the building and 4 galleries, and we have wonderful events like this one tonight every month, second Friday. Open studios, you get to come and see the artist in their space. And yeah, I love to paint. I do surrealistic work, and when I perform, I often go up to Tahoe and perform in the woods in my weird costumes. And I'm a lot less shy than I am right now in front of the camera. I get in my costume and I do my weird things. And I like it when people are impressed by my work, think it's beautiful and a little scary. So.
Hi, I'm Michael Campbell, and I share the space with my wife, Alina, and we do mushroom-themed art. She does more fashion-based things, and I do the sculptural elements. And we are very inspired by mushrooms here in North Bay. We hunt them, we study mycology, and we produce work based on those themes, based on medicinal mushrooms, and based on psychedelic mushrooms, whole mythology that goes along with that theme.
welcome to Artworks Downtown, second Friday Art Walk night in March of 2018. Artworks Downtown is a unique intersection of art studios, working art studios, gallery exhibition spaces, and affordable living all under one roof. We were so lucky to be able to purchase our building 22 years ago and to maintain this very vibrant arts program for the community of San Rafael and Marin County. And many people from around the Bay Area and beyond come to visit us. Our big outreach push each month is the Second Friday Art Walk. This enables all of our studios to be open to the public. If you're in the neighborhood, stop by. It's every second Friday. It's a really wonderful opportunity to actually do what our mission is, which is to connect with the community. We have a new exhibition every month of cutting-edge exhibits in our primary studio space upstairs, our main gallery, the 1337 Gallery. We also have 3 additional galleries, the Underground Gallery, the Founders Gallery, and the Donors Gallery. So if you come on Second Friday Art Walk night, all of our studio artists will be present in their studio, and you'll have the opportunity to walk into their studios, meet them personally, ask them questions about their technique or their conceptual. It's a really terrific opportunity to meet and connect with our studio artists. Besides our Second Friday Art Walk, Artworks Downtown has many other outreach programs, including a public sculpture program where we rotate public sculptures throughout San Rafael. Every year we do 9 sculptures. We also have a free senior art making workshop once a month that's open to all seniors free of charge to come in and make art. In addition to our Second Friday Art Walk, our public sculpture program, our senior art making workshop, we've got 32 working studios, 17 affordable housing apartments, 4 commercial studios that we rent on the main street. Those are all a part of the creative placemaking efforts that we're doing. Those are a restaurant, the Green Chili Kitchen, a frame shop, framing interiors, a jeweler's guild with 35 jewelers, and a design clothing studio where they're making innovative clothing designs for retail sale. In addition to all of that, we've got a ceramics studio called Sweet Spirit Ceramics. They host classes every day for youth and adults. So check them out if you're into that. We've got kilns here. You can take classes or you can do free building. It's up to you. And on top of that, we have events such as classes for artists and for the public. Every weekend, we've got an artist membership that hosts hundreds of members. It's only $50 a year. It includes discounts on submissions. It includes exhibition opportunities. And most importantly, all of the classes that are sponsored for our artist membership program are free. So it's a really great deal, $50. Our phone number here at Artworks Downtown is 415-451-8119. Our email address, or our website actually, is www.artworksdowntown.org. We're open to the public Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you're in downtown San Rafael, stop on by. Hope to see you soon.
Stephanie Yuka. I have a studio here at Artworks Downtown. I've been using a lot of recycled materials in my work recently to make mobiles and also some 2D pieces. And my new theme is Garden of Desire, which I hope to make as a large installation with a lot of mobiles. So you can check my work on my website, stephanieyuka.com. Thanks.
And I am the artist in residence for 2017-2018 here at Artworks Downtown. And it's just been an amazing experience of getting to be in this wonderful space and being able to be around the public and share my work with the public as I make it, and also just make a lot of great connections with all of the awesome artists around here. My work is I work a lot with watercolor, mostly works on paper. Watercolor and pen and ink are my primary mediums. But I've also had some forays into some sculptural work this past year, so some work with concrete, and that's been really great. My work tends to draw from fashion illustration and fashion, but also from literature. So story is really important to me, and I try to create characters that are compelling and beautiful, but have a deeper story if you look a little bit deeper at them. So that's what I aim to do.
Okay, my name is Carol Durham, and I work in hog gut, or shall I say, sausage casings, and I make shoes, and I try to tell stories with the shoes, and then I kind of try to tell stories and how I get the ideas. They just come out of my head. It's pictures in my head and ideas, and sometimes I reference the books and to work on the ideas. And this piece over here, I did that last year, the first part of last year, and that's all hand stitched. And then the shoes they're glued. I use the shoe as a mold.
Blue. That's a prereq for my paintings because blue is the canvas of water and sky, and so if I feel stuck, I just watch the canvas go by and there's movement, and pretty soon my mind is moving, and it can also have a hypnotic effect. And so I put myself in a state where my hand will scribble. I might have an idea of what I'm going to paint, but things come out and there's scribbles in such a way that I end up with things I didn't plan on, such as that there's a painting behind me at the end of the room, in the upper right-hand corner, animals appeared. There was just scribbles, and then I realized afterwards, oh, what is this? And so that's the adventure I go on when I do my work. And right now I'm moving into hypnosis and art and hypnosis, using hypnosis as a tool in a practical way and a way to really connect with the creative self, because I believe we're all creative. It's just a matter of knowing how to tap into that. So
Hello and welcome to the Source Directory, a completely new and innovative approach to create a list of individuals, organizations, projects, and events that are helping to make our area more resilient and a healthier, happier place to live. Within the directory, you'll find hundreds of different businesses and people who are all committed and dedicated to community building, environmental restoration, self-sustainability, and economic development. Some of the categories you'll find them under is arts and culture, health and healing, peace and justice, food and farm, science and technology. I'm one of the founders, Michael DiMartino, and I'm also the host and producer of Golden Road TV and Radio, which produces a weekly 2-hour TV and radio show, once again, to bring focus to those people in our region that are helping to make a change for the better and to make this area much happier and healthier with a higher quality of living for all of us. Thank you for your time. If you'd like more information, just check out thesourcedirectory.org and goldenroadtelevision.com. Thank you for your time.
It's a golden road TV show. Yes, it's a golden road TV show. It's a Golden Road TV show.com.
What makes a successful district? Pre-existing density, meaning, do you already have historic buildings and places downtown? Do you have a lot of cultural organizations, a cohesive identity, a multi-sector leadership, partnerships, and data? And we are collecting that, and much to the thanks, again, to McConnell Foundation, who funded both a historic inventory of all the historic buildings in this area, and they're going to be doing more. And also Alice Kreminski, who's in the room somewhere. Alice, where are you? Oh, there she is. She did a public art inventory for us, which we have yet to present to the City of Reading, which is part of what we're doing in our cultural district. What we want to do is make this place a destination. We have world-class assets at the bend of the river. We have the botanical gardens. We have the Sundial Bridge. We've got a beautiful walking and bicycling trails. It's kind of incredible what we have, and our downtown is just now beginning to blossom. And one of the crown jewels that we have downtown is the Cascade Theater. Michelle Irvine, are you around? Where are you? There she is. This is the new person for the Cascade Theater, Michelle Irvine. And it's wonderful that we have, what do you have, 1,000 seats at the Cascade? And we also have the Reading Civic Center here. All right, Reading Civic Center, who's providing all kinds of wonderful world-class entertainment. The trail along here is quite beautiful. It's an amazing area. And so I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. There's already so many good things happening along the river trail. And then the Diesel Horse Bridge, which was recently restored. It's beautiful. It's like a European bridge. Again, a world-class bridge. Walking bridge to the landing here, and this green area will be a circular loop. So when we looked at this, we decided there were really two distinct and unique walkable areas connected to this district. One of them, again, is downtown, which is where we are, and the other one is at the Sundial Bridge. One of the first things we said we wanted to do was to bring people together just like this so that they could hear from other cultural districts, understand what they are, and see how these come together. We're offering mini grants from $500 to $2,500, and later when we break into our World Cafe portion of this, where we get into smaller groups, I'm really hoping that you come up with some really cool ideas, okay, for these mini grants, if that happens to be your question.
And you can see an area dotted, combined and dotted with cultural assets. So you can see that we have 53 arts organizations, 45 festivals and fairs throughout the year, 33 galleries, studios and museums, live music venues, and then we have an incredible array of places of historical interest. Virtually the whole of downtown Nevada City it's on the National Historic Register, so it's pretty amazing. So deep within California's gold country, the historic twin cities of Grass Valley and Nevada City merge in the Sierra foothills amidst pristine rivers and picturesque forests, home to the Nisseman, the area's oldest indigenous peoples. The district is rich in cultural histories and the arts. The merging of our wine industry, which is growing, and our film festivals. We included augmented and virtual reality, our high-tech creatives in our cultural asset planning and inventory. These are some of the faces who were at the table with us as we worked through the public consultation phase, deciding what sort of application that we would create for Grass Valley and Nevada City before we all decided to come together as one. And that's why it made sense for Nevada County Arts Council to represent the arts community with the two cities. Back then, the Nisseman were thrown from their homes, the Chinese immigrants were exploited for their skills, black African slaves were imported. So there's a lot of healing that we think this cultural district designation can do. And here is, in a way, some of our healing. So we have the Nisseman among us, and this is the opening of bridge and a beautiful walk and trailhead, which was in which we implemented some public art as well. His son had been walking home from school and had been verbally abused by 3 white youths as he walked home from school. And so the mayor decided, we'd lost his wife just 3 days before, to organize this love march, this anti-hate march. And this is the sort of thing that we feel should be happening in a cultural district. It was an extraordinary moment.
It's a great opportunity, I think, not just for the Native community, but for our community as a whole, because it's an opportunity and a vehicle for telling the story of this region.
This is Eureka. We're on Humboldt Bay. If you of the very far northern corner of Western California, but we're still 100 miles from the Oregon border. We have the Carson Mansion, which is one of the most photographed buildings in the world. And we have the kinetic sculpture race. Again, the Carson Mansion, the Blue Ox Millworks, the Mannequin, historic cruises on the bay, graffiti murals, which we love. The Young People are the lead organization. We're a community arts organization, and we do a thing that's kind of like a cultural incubator, called the Dreammaker Program. We have about 90 community-initiated projects that do everything from several Native American projects to fire dancing, hip-hop, dance, theater, writing, you name it, people want to do it. The Eureka Main Street program was founded on the concept that the arts are important for economic development. And so they have, for the last 25 years, been working very hard to develop cultural opportunities, community-based festivals, and just all based on the arts to promote business, community cohesion, and attracting people to come visit us. Finally, the executive director explained to me that everybody has art. We have redwood trees.
That means you're really expensive, of course.
So I said, okay, I got it. You can talk about redwood trees, but don't forget to tell people to buy a painting of a redwood tree or a photograph or a sculpture.
California is a big state. It has 9 different biomes, and these are all very unique places, and they really define, what culture means in our connection to the land there. Our region is vast, our community is vast, because we're on the eastern slope of the Sierra, because we're a rural community. The people that we're interacting with might live an hour away by car. Outdoor life is really a huge component of why people come to Truckee. People get out during the snowstorms and they help their neighbors clear their driveway. And there's a lot of community and commerce just in terms of letting the electronic goods go and just being connecting with people one-on-one.
We have sacred sites and sacred places here in our community that are in this area, local area, that are very important to us.
Artworks Downtown, Youth and Arts, which is a youth education group, California Film Institute, that's the Christopher B. Smith San Rafael Film Center that hosts the Mill Valley Film Festival, our Downtown Business Improvement District, and the City of San Rafael. So those are our 5 main partners. Along with our 5 partners, we have dozens of, and the Marin Cultural Association. We have dozens of partners that are arts organizations that are located in the downtown. Many people don't even know that Artworks Downtown is there. We are a historic building, an 1880s opera house. We were so fortunate 20 years ago to be able to purchase our building. We've had a tsunami of cash come through that's completely disrupted our community. Our affordable housing and our artists' lives have forever been changed. A 2-bedroom apartment in the Bay Area is lucky if we can get something for under $3,500 a month. So what we've seen is this mass exodus of artists leaving our community. And one of the greatest challenges that we have is to retain them. It absolutely resulted in a stimulus to our downtown, and not just for Artworks Downtown. We were the first, but all of these other arts organizations started moving in because that was where it was happening, and they wanted to work in collaboration with each other. We had a collaborative exhibition last year that involved all of our arts organizations to benefit homeless teens. We gave grants to an organization called Drawbridge that deals with homeless teens, and we gave everybody cameras. And all the teenagers, we gave them cameras to take pictures of their experiences and have them in a gallery.
We have the opportunity to sculpt this. We really do. And it's so important that we do. Because whatever we sculpt is going to set the future for our cultural districts in the entire state of California. The most creative state on the face of the planet. We are a nation. We are. And we have all of this talent.
We are on a journey to bring back our salmon, to sing for the salmon, to bring them home again.
We are
The Winnemums, we say we came out of that sacred spring. When we were created, we came out of Mount Shasta.
We are here speaking up for the salmon because that is our belief. They have given us our voice when they used to have their own voice.
All of the older Indians had allotments around here. Like this little hump right here was Grandma Delia's allotment. In 2006, we did the war dance on the Shasta Dam, and halfway around the world in New Zealand responded to our call. They had our salmon. There he goes. That's a good sign that they did the little dance right here. I wish Grams were here.
Letting the fish go was hard. I thought about how me and my brother and all my cousins never got to see them come up the river.
We went to dance for the salmon, pray for the salmon, bring them home, and I believe that's what we will do. In the end, we will have our salmon back.
Hi, welcome to Forever Enlightened. I'm Vicki Litticoat and I'm the owner here. We are part of the Auburn community for spiritual growth. We are a place where people could come and find different aids for their healing journey. So we offer and we create a space where people can come in and they can find tools and educate themselves. We are a metaphysical gift store. We have crystals, stones, books, angels, Buddhas, whatever you need for your spiritual journey. We have 2 treatment rooms. I have many professionals that work with us. I have clairvoyance, I have a tarot reader, I have my numerologist, I teach Reiki, and I have some fine teachers that also teach with me. We offer classes in kind of a mystery school of healing arts. We offer Reiki, meditation, spiritual tools classes, clairvoyant classes, mindful meditation classes. Amy is now back teaching a class. She's teaching one of our classes on Reiki. She's one of our finest teachers, and you'll also see her hand-painted feathers in here. She is one of our local artists. We support local artists, as many as we can. We feel that this is important with our community, and we act in unison with our community to provide a healing space, a spiritual place, a education center. We are located in the heart of downtown Auburn. We are in the Gold Country Mall, 882 Lincoln Way. Our website is forever-enlightened.com. Our email is foreverenlightened56@gmail.com. Our phone number is area code 530-883-8033.
Hi, my name's Richard Bright Kuykendall, and I am a tarot card reader here at Forever Enlightened. I also do dream interpretation. I've been doing tarot readings and dream interpretation for nearly 30 years, and I have studied both in my doctoral studies. And I'm here through the week on basically on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays for appointments between 12 and 4. So what tarot is tarot cards were actually created in the late Middle Ages in northern Italy. It began as a game. They have 4 suits like a regular deck does, except they have different suit names. They have swords, cups, rods, and pentacles or coins. And then they also have another set of picture cards, 22 of those. And around the 1700s, different individuals started using the tarot cards to use for divination in looking into people's lives and so forth. And so that's what I've been doing for the last 30 years. People come to me and with questions about what's going on in their life, and I help them do that. With my dream interpretation work, I also studied for about 30 years, and my last bit was studying with Dr. Jeremy Taylor, who's a top dream researcher, the author of The Wisdom of Your Dreams. And what I do is I've been taught how to interpret a person's dreams, so that if a person has a dream that they're curious about or troubled by, I can help them to understand that.
Hi, my name is Paul Miner, and I work at Forever Enlightened, which is a metaphysical store in downtown Auburn, and I do readings here. I am a master numerologist, which means that I've passed all of the tests, and I try to let my clients know the value of the chart that I'm doing for them. First of all, numerology allows you to know who you are on all levels. And when you understand your chart, you understand your life purpose, you understand your abilities, you understand your liabilities, and you also understand the meaning of all of the numbers that are in your particular name, because nobody else has the same identical end result that you have. If they are born on the same day or the same time, then that's only half of the equation, because you have your unique name. Your first name is going to reveal your surroundings and the events going on in your life. Your middle name is your emotions, and your last name is, of course, the family consciousness. And so the thing that I like mostly is working with children, because when the parents know the numbers of their child, then they can nurture them and get an early start on their development. Children, for example, who have 2 5s in their birth date tend to be very mischievous, because those 2 numbers are the numbers of adventure, and they don't want any restrictions. Children with 2 2s in their birth date are very, very sensitive. Children with 2 3s are extremely creative, and they need a little assistance to take care of all of the creative projects that they generate. Children with 2 6s are going to be inclined, as a matter of fact, compelled to reach out and help people, and they do it all the time. They just have to make sure that they don't overdo that. They have to allow other people their free will. Children with 2 7s really like their alone time. They really like to analyze things. Children with 2 4s are extremely productive. As a matter of fact, you might call them workaholics. Children with 2 or 3 9s are very unique because they have an extremely high IQ. And while they understand the technical things very well, they are not so well versed when it comes to common sense or practicality. So whatever the numbers are, they are your future. You chose those numbers ahead of time before you incarnated. So you really have nothing to complain about because you created your own destiny. So I always tell people to be all they can be by virtue of their name. That is their future and something they need to live up to every day. I always, in particular, and here's my book, I like to do numbers for the whole family because the family members then understand one another much better. And you can then find out which family members relate to one another in a special way. And these numbers are with you the moment you're born, and they're with you till the day that you make your transition. Numbers are quantities, yes, and they're very valuable in that regard, but they're also all about values. The numbers began about 500 BC in terms of a structured form, and the man called Pythagoras is the one that gets the credit for devising all of the equations that are a part of numerology.
Today, and you are at Reiki 1, Class 1. I just want to welcome you to our new space, our teaching space. We have many teachers that are here and use this space, and we're really excited to see you here. So let's start with what is Reiki. Reiki is a vibrational energy that we are all going to not only feel and heal through ourselves, but we are going to feel it in others as well. And that is something that Reiki 1 is going to teach you first and foremost what your own energy is and how to work with that, how to feel it, get to know your energy, to feel it, to heal it, and understand yourselves and literally through your lives. It's an absolutely transformational experience for you and others. Hi, my name is Amy Ritchie, and I'm one of the teachers here at Forever Enlightened. This is in downtown Auburn, California, where we are creating a community and a family of like-minded people that are on their journeys looking for different skills and different opportunities to educate themselves. I'm one of the Reiki teachers and practitioners here, and my journey has brought me here from many, many years of looking for an amazing place to share that with other people. We're hoping that you will join us in that journey and join us in your education and being a part of that.
30 seconds of something in there. 60 seconds.
How's that? All right, that's
And then Marina.
Nice.
And now, after I get some levels here, we have the beatniks with
African Sunrise.
African Sunrise.
Golden Road explores the intersection of arts, environment, culture, health, peace, justice, science, and technology.
It's a golden road, a TV show.com.
Follow the golden road. Follow the golden road. Follow, 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 follow the golden road. We're off to see the Golden Road TV show. You'll find it is a whiz of a show, if ever a show there was. It's arts and culture and history, environment, health, technology, and peace and justice, science, just because of the meaningful things it does. We're off to see the Golden Road TV show.